Yo guys, welcome back to another Danmemo Memorial Freeze video. Okay, so Ottarl RecordBuster is back, and I'm going to be showing you guys what I did to get over 100 million. Keep in mind, guys, obviously if your account's better than mine, or you're on the US server, you're probably going to get higher scores than this anyway. This is more for newer players, EU players, you know, people that are sort of struggling with the game. Anyway, let's get straight into it. Yes guys, as usual, we're going to start with the gear, and the first thing you're going to want is at least 4 of these bad boys right here. You're going to want at least 4 glorious anklets with stun resist, because Ottarl stuns this time around. He also slows, but there really isn't much you can do about that. It's a real RNG type scenario. But if, like me, you're using assists that give you status ailment, you can opt for a swift armor, because he doesn't have an element. It means he's doing just pure physical damage, which means swift armor will probably do you really well with endurance and making sure it has that core 8% additional physical resistance. Okay guys, so we're moving on to the rotation. Not really much to note about Ottarl, except for the fact that he is, in my opinion, the biggest pain in the ass to deal with in RecordBuster, because he removes all of your buffs. Which means primarily you have to focus on applying as many debuffs as possible. So we're quickly going over his rotations. He stuns on AoE, and he removes all of your buffs on with his SA, which means on turns 3, 7, 11, 14, 15, he can potentially stun you. Potentially, not if you have the glorious anklets, is what it's necessary for, or if you have ailment resist assists like I will be using. On at the end of turn 4 or beginning of turn 5, I like to, you know, between turns, we'll call it. So between turns 4 and 5, 8 and 9, and 12 and 13, he will use his SA. Now those SAs, like I said, will remove all of your buffs. So, or with the exception of 12, between 12 and 13. He does not remove buffs between turns 12 and 13. Sorry, I'm a little bit tongue-tied today. I haven't been awake that long, and I'm still really tired. No, so between the SA between turn 12 and 13 does not remove buffs. So essentially, turn 9, after he removes your buffs and you reapply them, they will not get removed at all, and we're going to use that to our advantage, because that's when we're going to start hitting with everything we have and hoping that we can get as many survivals as we possibly can. Survivors. Anyway, we're going to move on to the okay, so let's go through the team. Right, so obviously by now you should know what Haruhime does. She's going to extend buffs, and then after turn 8, when we apply all of our buffs again and go as hard as we can, obviously I'm going to use her SA to give everyone that 100% strength and magic boost. Obviously no magic uses this time around. She has Orna for the additional guard and counter rate, but Orna also reduces physical and magic resist by 10%, so it's helping across the board. Ottarl, I went with, okay, so you can use this, you could potentially use this strategy with any nuking single target SA user. So if you have the Fire Reveria, if you have the Fire Katori from the Data Live collaboration, it will work just as well. But I only really have Goblin Slayer that can do this, so I've had to make my team a dark orientated team, which, you know, is great for me anyway, because I have some decent dark units regardless. But if you don't have these dark units, you can you could potentially do another same strategy, different element, you know, predominantly fire for the most part. I think you could potentially do it with light as well, but I haven't really looked into that. My light team sucks. So anyway, carrying on, we have Ottarl. Ottarl just hits hard no matter what. He's got the villager eyes on him for the increased damage, and she gives him a nice strength buff to strength as well. Then we have Line, who is there for the... Okay, I know buffs are removed, so Line's SA buff will be removed after the first SA, but it also, you know, you can't not apply it, otherwise you probably will end up losing out on one SA through the whole run, which is, we want to avoid that. So on her we have the strength debuffing Ariadne. Basically she debuffs strength and endurance on Ottarl, which means more damage by us, less damage to us, so always good. Keep in mind, guys, I'm explaining what these assists do, so that if you find units that do the same thing, whether they do them to the same extent or more or less or whatever, it doesn't matter. Just replace these units with the units that you have available to you. Okay, then we have Goblin Slayer. Goblin Slayer is where all of my damage is going to be coming from. On him is Take, because his skill 3 increases his damage output by 40% for every self strength buff. So he is going to be hitting hard on his strength 3. He also, you know, applies the physical resist, dark resist, and single target damage increase debuffs to Ottarl, and they will stay indefinitely as long as I can keep them extended. Then we come over, we have, wait, is this Yuri or you know what, I don't even remember. I think it's Yuri. I'm not going to bother clicking, but he is here for the guard down debuff, which means we will be doing more damage. On him we have Ares for the physical resist debuff. I wish I had Ares MLB, it would be so much better. And then we have Elmina. Elmina just hits hard. Elmina's skill 1 has a high penetration rate. The only problem with Elmina was she was dying too quickly when I was trying before, which is why she has Freya for the additional 20% physical magic resist. But Freya also increases her strength as well, so she's going to be hitting, you know, considerably hard. Maybe not as hard as Goblin Slayer or Ottarl, but she's going to be up there anyway. So without waffling on anymore, let's get into. Okay, right. Is it me or the sound obnoxiously loud sometimes? Okay, so turn 1, like I said, with the difference between this RecordBuster and others is you don't really need to diligently pay attention to everything Ottarl is doing on every turn. You do need to pay attention to a certain degree, but not so much here. You just need to know when he's going to potentially stun you, when he's going to remove your buffs. So from turn 1, he's going to AoE and then do 2 single target attacks, and he's going to reduce our endurance by 30%. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to straight up Arcanate to remove that strength. I'm going to buff my physical resist, magic resist, dark resist. You know, I'm going to buff Ottarl. I'm going to apply the SA gauge charge, and then I'm going to start applying debuffs with Goblin Slayer. Oh, I thought he was going to bully Line there, honestly. Okay, so now we're going to apply Sheikah for the increased counter rate, pen rate, and crit rate. Wait, she doesn't apply crit rate, does she? Put it down. No, it's just counter rate and pen rate. Line applies crit rate, which is helpful. And we're going to do the debuff there, and we're going to go straight into single target with Ottarl, and then we're going to apply the single target buff, that 20% buff, with Goblin Slayer. Ottarl already hitting nearly 200k. What is this guy's problem, bro? Chill, it was a prank. No. Okay, now the fun starts. So we're now on turn 3. This is where if you don't have the anklets, he's going to stun you. So we need to extend those debuffs. Let's just always get into the habit of making sure you're checking how long the debuffs are on there, or buffs, depending on what RecordBuster it is, but you really need to pay attention to when those buffs are going to be extended. This is all I'm ever going to use on Elmina here, because okay, I'm not going to go over multipliers now, but thanks to a certain individual in the Artemis familiar, I understand and now know the percentage modifiers for single target versus AoE. So it's more beneficial to use the single target higher damage attack with an ultra penetration rate than it would be to use the super AoE attack. Anyway, right, all debuffed. Now Goblin Slayer is going to start smashing as well. So let's this. Alright, now we're on turn 4, so after this turn he's going to SA. So I'm going to Yasuga again. Basically nothing changes here. I'm going to Yasuga again, literally just to make sure that everyone is kept at full health. The thing is, guys, there is an aspect of RNG. Like I did a run beforehand, even with the Orna on Haruhime. Haruhime basically took like 4 attacks and didn't counter heal once in the turn that it happened. I rage quit. I genuinely rage quit. Okay, so SA done, all buffs removed. So what we're going to do is we're going to just check how long he's got on his debuffs. 3 turns, so we're all 3 turns is the lowest, which means we can just focus on reapplying these buffs. Elmina needs to do nothing. Goblin Slayer needs to do nothing. It's literally just Ottarl and Haruhime. There we go. There's them counter heals. Right, so we are now on, what turn are we on? Turn 6. Turn 6. He's going to do 3 single target attacks and slow someone. It's RNG as to whether he does slow or not. But chances are he's probably going to slow someone. You know, I mean, it doesn't. Nothing needs changing. Just keep it really simple. If you are worried about MP conservation, then maybe throw you know, a normal attack in there every now and again. Me personally, I really don't care. The problem is the single target attacks. Like if he's not hitting Haruhime, she can't heal. So I have to use Yasuga more than I probably would usually. Just gonna check all these buffs here. 3 turns, 2 turns of endurance down, 3 turns on the lowest, which means we can get away with using Sheikah on this one. And we're on turn 7. Yeah, we're going to Sheikah this turn because I need to Yasuga next turn because then he's going to SA. So, nothing else changes on anyone else. We're just going to keep hammering away. You know what I'm saying? The RNG really screwed me there. Like, he AoE'd everyone and Haruhime did not counter. Okay, so now we're going to Yasuga. Nothing changes for anyone else, and the only one that seems to be having mana issues right now is Elmina, but like I said, that really doesn't matter. Fingers crossed if we survive here. If not, I will have to start the run over. We survived. No. Okay, so buffs have been removed, but because of the wait. This is where I am not entirely sure of what I should do. I think I should Sheikah first. Check the debuffs. Yeah, 3 to 5 turns on all of those. I think I should just reapply all of the buffs first. No, Goblin Slayer looks really low. Okay, so we're gonna SA with Haruhime. Oh, I nearly made a serious mistake. Okay, so we're gonna buff with Ottarl just because we need it. Goblin Slayer, we're gonna combo because if you did not know, a combo SA grants a damage multiplier. For each successive combo, the damage multiplier increases by an additional 20%. So Goblin Slayer's SA here will be doing 1.2 times its base damage because it's done in a combo. So helpful across the board. And obviously, you know, I get to heal. So turn 9, he's going to AoE and then give everyone a 30% endurance down. Keep in mind, guys, obviously I'm not saying I'm an expert. This is just me trying to help people that are maybe struggling to get a decent score. You know, trying to get that 600 to 700 Iris. If you are watching this and you feel like I've done something wrong, please don't be afraid to tell me. I'm always happy to learn or improve myself. I've never once said that I'm great at this game. In fact, I actually think I suck. But you know, if I can help other people that think they suck worse than me, why shouldn't I do it? But yeah, if you do feel like I could have done better on this run, please tell me how. I'm always after help. Ask the Artemis familiar. I'm always harassing them for information. That was such a low roll on his SA. I'm so unhappy about that. Wow, that sucks. Okay, we're gonna check the turns on all of the debuffs. 2 turns. Okay, cool. 2 turns. Okay, we can get away with this. We can get away with this because I'm gonna have to Yasuga a couple of times. I'm genuinely not happy about the roll I just got on that SA. I've literally done like 700,000 damage with that. But what the hell? Anyway, so we're gonna Sheikah to get the penetration rate. Oh, thank God for the counter heals. Okay, so we're gonna Yasuga now. Yeah, we're gonna Yasuga, you know, like crazy now. I'm probably just going to SA with Goblin Slayer again, because if you didn't know, he doesn't... Okay, so let's read his SA. Okay. Ultra Dark physical attack, damage plus 60% for every self-strength buff. Skill and self-strength and dark attack damage plus 90% for 3 turns. Okay, so he applies the buff after he does the SA, so if you do it a second time, it means... so if the first time you're doing it without the additional 90% strength and dark attack. He already had 100% strength attack, but the additional 90% dark attack is where the nuking is coming from. So by doing it again, we're now doing his SA with the additional 90% dark attack. Just a heads up if you weren't aware of that. I feel like I must have messed something up that turn by not paying attention because I was too busy talking. It's I love this. I love this animation though, honestly. That is... RNG is literally bending me over today. I'm not happy about that. I mean, I suppose it doesn't entirely matter. It's not that big of a deal. I'm just trying to help you guys get better scores for your runs, but I'm genuinely not. I'm not happy. He's about to SA now, by the way, guys. I know I haven't been covering the turns, but it's turn 12. This is where we find out if anyone's gonna die. Hopefully Haruhime stays alive, because Ottarl is a prick, basically, because of how high his penetration, crit chance and all that is. At any point, he could basically just one-shot your team. Well, I say your team, if you've built up pure defense and you're not going for damage output, I mean, I'm really not. This is a really bad run, and I'm gonna upload it anyway, but there's not much I can really. But I'm like not talking halfway through, so I'm holding my breath thinking someone's gonna die. I should be able to get one more SA off if no one dies. Fingers crossed. Let's just check the buffs here, make sure we've got enough turns left. Check the debuffs, make sure everything's all copacetic. Yeah, they're all good. Oh, Goblin Slayer is so close to dead. Oh my god. Alright. Oh yeah, and Elmina's completely out of MP now. Like I said, guys, this is by far a terrible run. But we're gonna see what score we get regardless. And I just realized I've recorded the video and done all of this talking without having a glass of water with me, and my mouth is exceptionally dry right now. What is making him hit so low? There we go. Look, as long as one person survives, it genuinely does not matter. And we're going to see the score here. Well, okay, so I actually beat my own high score. Okay, guys. Yep, so there we go. 133 million, not bad. I do have time to fiddle about, try and increase my damage output, which I know I now can. I've got assists that can increase dark type damage, but for you guys, I always try to focus primarily on survival rather than damage output. So obviously I can do better than I have now, and I probably will experiment a little bit to try and do better. But yeah, guys, keep in mind, so my final advice here is you do not have to do this on difficulty 6. If you're at that stage in the game where you can't do this on difficulty 6, the same strategy will work on difficulty 5, 4, you name it, as you go down. You have to realize this is a progressive game, and sometimes you just don't have the units available to you. So you just got to do the best with whatever score you can get. Like myself currently, the reason my scores are nowhere near as high as the people that are hitting like 400 million, etc. You know, I just don't have the units. I don't have the max limit broken assists that they do. Because if you didn't know, guys, having max limit broken assists will always be more important than having max limit broken adventurers. And I feel like the game doesn't emphasize that enough. You get subtle little hints, which is why it costs more in the ticket shops to get bonds for assists and adventurers. Anyway, guys, I hope this has helped you. Keep in mind, guys, you do not have to do this on difficulty 6, and I probably will try and shoot for 200 million like I got on my last RecordBuster. But this was just to help you guys out. I'm now going to go do my run seriously, and you know, I just hope this helped you. Make sure to drop a like if you did enjoy this video. Subscribe if you haven't. Make sure to follow me on Twitter. The link will be in the description. And as always, guys, I'll catch you later.